What is going on, football fans? The NFL draft is only a few days away, less than a week. I'm going to try to put out Eagles mock draft every single day until the draft on Thursday, where I'm going to do a live stream breaking down all the picks that happen. All right, before we get into the video today, let's do one thing for me. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We're pushing around 5,000 subscribers. That's thanks to you guys. All right, let's get into it. All right, the way the board fell to the Eagles today, the best player available, Nate Wiggins is on the board, Adonai Mitchell. I like Brian Thomas Jr., Kool-Aid McKinstry, but to me, the guy is Amarius Mims, the tackle from Georgia. Over 70 grades every single year. He's an excellent pass blocker, 81. He's got ideal size, 6'7", 340 pounds. He's only 21 years of age, too. And look at his measurables, 85th percentile in broad jump, 91 in height, 94 in weight, 97 in wingspan, 95 in arm length, hand size 97, and 19th in vertical jump. But the last time I checked, offensive tackles aren't vertical leaping for anything. He's got the George Costanza syndrome. He can't vertical jump, but that doesn't matter because he's an offensive tackle. Pretty much 90th percentile in every single measurable. Look at that arm length, almost 37-inch arms. This guy is a prototypical tackle in the NFL. And if you pair up Mailata with him in the future, oh my gosh, he could actually probably even play left tackle at some point if Mailata regresses at all. Lane Johnson's got 2, maybe 3 years left. Let's draft his replacement, Amarius Mims. Luckily for the Eagles, they have 2 second-round picks. We will probably want to address linebacker at some point and corner. The best players on the board, Jonah Ellis at edge is a very interesting pick here. I like Kamari Lassiter, and you guys know I love Edgerrin Cooper. Man, Jonah Ellis is a really, really good edge defender. 13 sacks last year. I was going to go cornerback. Oh, man. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Jonah Ellis, man. He's a very, very interesting player. Smart hand usage, improved at mitigating his lack of length in 2023. He's got fast hands, pass rush moves for days, good flexibility and bend. And since we just lost Hassan Reddick, Jonah Ellis could even be that like outside linebacker type if you don't want him with his hand in the ground. He's got the size to do that too. I don't know if he'll be able to cover at the NFL level. We'll have to see how Vic Fangio would use him. But 6'2", 246. He's got ideal edge outside linebacker size. He's only 21 years of age. Jonah Ellis is just too good to pass up in the second round for the Birds. A couple picks later, in between them, Bullard went and Kieran Amandaji from Yale went. So the board looks pretty good. We could go Kamari Lassiter, but I think there's some good cornerbacks later in the draft. I want to get one of the best linebackers in college football. Edgerrin Cooper is a true outside linebacker. 86, 85, 87. Look at those grades, man. He's just so good. So good. He does got to work on his tackling a little bit because he's just like this ball of energy that wants to just crush everyone. He kind of needs to harness that a little bit at the NFL level. 6'3", 230. I love his size. He's got good experience as well if you look at his stats. 600 snaps the past 2 years, over 11 games every single year. Edgerrin Cooper is going to the Birds in the second round. All right, unfortunately, the Birds do not pick in the third round. Maybe Howie Roseman can work his draft magic, get us a third-round pick, maybe by trading back in the second round. That's a possibility. All right, the Eagles are up in the fourth round, pick 20. For the Birds, I really want to look at the cornerback position. Devondre Sweat is there, too. He's an excellent interior defensive lineman, and he could actually play that nose tackle position, but we already have Jordan Davis, so I don't know if I want to do that. Trevor Keegan is interesting, too, from the Michigan Wolverines. Jordan McGee, the linebacker, is a very interesting pick as well. I want to see what's going on with cornerback and safety, because no matter what anyone says, Slay and Bradbury are not going to be the cornerbacks for the Philadelphia Eagles 2 years from now. I don't even think after this year they're going to be the corners for the Eagles. I think Bradbury might be getting cut at some point in the summer or maybe during the season. He was that bad last year. Chris Abrams is a pretty good player, 85 grade. I scouted him a lot. He's a little undersized, 5'11", 178. I don't particularly love that size for a corner. I want a guy over 6 foot, around 200 pounds. Jarvis Brownlee Jr. definitely fits that mold. Charles Smith-Wade, there's a lot of good corners available, 5'11", 176. These undersized corners I'm not loving. Cole Bishop, the safety, not for me. Jarvis Brownlee, 6 foot 190. Let's see what they're saying about him. They don't have any trends. They said Pittsburgh, Vikings, San Francisco. I like his coverage grade. What I don't like is his man coverage grade. He's got good size. You know what? For me, the Eagles need safety help, right? Reed Blankenship and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. He's only on a 3-year deal. And honestly, if they cut him after 2, I wouldn't be surprised. Blankenship's only on the 1-year deal. Malik Mustafa is a G. Look at that run defense grade, 87.5. 72.5 coverage grade. I'm definitely thinking about drafting him here. I want to clear the board and see if there's any other good values. Devondre Sweat just seems like too good to pass up at this point in the draft. You know what? I'm going to grab some corners later in the draft. Devondre Sweat is just too good to pass up. Look at these grades. 91 grade this year. His size is amazing. 6'4", 362. Howie Roseman loves defensive linemen. He's just tough to block, man. He's got big, thick legs, huge ass, man. He is just an absolute beast. I'm picking him. I'm doing it. So, now, in the 5th round, we really got to look at offensive line, cornerback. I'm going to go interior offensive line and tackle because I really want to address offensive line. Ooh, I do like the Camarion Richardson. He's a really good player. I do like him. 6'2", 195. That's a no-brainer. I forgot about him in the last round, but lucky for us, he fell to us in the 5th round. Camarion Richardson is the 5th round pick for the Eagles. Now, luckily for the Birds, we have 2 really interesting picks, 171 and 172 in the 5th round. Darren Holker is a very interesting pick at the tight end position. He's a pretty productive player, 6 tutties, 766 yards. Drop rate a little too high. He can't block either. He's just not good enough. I like Dallas Goedert, but he's been regressing a lot lately. So let's take a look. Ooh, J.D. Bertrand, he's a very good linebacker as well. So we got our cornerback. We got defensive line. So where do we go with this pick? We got offensive line for the Eagles early in the draft. J.D. Bertrand, I do like Javon Foster, though. Yeah. So Javon Foster at pick 171. I do think we need more depth at the offensive line position, right? And Javon Foster can play tackle, but 6'5", 319, the way his measurables look, he's a little bit older of a player. I think he's more suited for guard. And the Eagles need more depth at the guard position. They don't have a ton of interior offensive linemen on their roster. Javon Foster is the pick for me for the Eagles at 172. Luckily for the Birds, we get to pick again at 172. Linebacker is always a need for us. Cornerback's a need. Safety is a need for the Eagles. But as I'm scrolling through, I'm trying to find some value. I do like the other linebackers from UCLA. They kind of got overshadowed by Laiatu Latu and how unbelievably good he was. But 14% missed tackle rate. I don't want another player that misses tackles. He's considerably better, under 10%. I'm drafting another linebacker, Grayson Murphy. He's kind of like an outside linebacker, edge defender type. I think he's the best spot for the Birds here. All right, the Eagles have one more pick at 210. And this is a pick I've made before in some of my mock drafts. Dylan Johnson, the running back from Washington. He played in that super high-powered offense at Washington with Michael Penix Jr. and Rome Odunze. He's a very good running back, man. Almost 1,200 yards. Played 14 games this year. He's got pretty decent size, too. 6'2", 218. He'll be a great complement to Saquon Barkley because Kenny Gainwell is not the dude. All right, that's our last pick in the draft, guys. I hope you liked this draft. Let's see what PFF thought about our draft. They gave us a B- grade. Amarius Mims, solid pick. Jonah Ellis, Edgerrin Cooper, Devondre Sweat. We went defense heavy in this draft. I think the offense is really good. We got two good offensive linemen too in Mims and Foster. Foster at the NFL level, he's not a tackle. He's more of a guard. So we got interior offensive linemen and the tackle position, and we went edge, linebacker, D-line, cornerback. We added some positions of need for sure. And I think Howie Roseman's going to be really heavy in undrafted free agents this year. I think the defense needs a complete facelift, especially because we're going to that 3-4 defense. I love this draft for the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me know in the comments below. Do you like this draft? Do you hate this draft? I would love to know your opinion in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Go Birds! Peace!